On this episode, a shadow in Earth's orbit. NASA says it was nothing, just a thermal blanket that drifted away. But others believe it's something far older, something that arrived long before we could even dream of spaceflight. A silent object. A dark, jagged shape caught in a handful of photographs. And a legend that refuses to die. The Black Knight. The story begins before space. Most mysteries begin with a single clue. This one begins with a sound. In 1899, Nikola Tesla was experimenting with radio in Colorado Springs, and he reported detecting a repeating signal, something that didn't behave like ordinary interference. Tesla believed the pattern might be intelligent. Not proof, not a confirmed message, but enough to light a fuse that would burn for more than a century. And once a mystery has a beginning, people start looking for everything that came after to match it. A rumor. From 1954, now we jump forward past 2 world wars into the early Cold War. In 1954, newspaper reports surfaced claiming that mysterious satellites were already orbiting Earth, years before Sputnik. To believers, it's an impossible headline, because the logic is simple. If humans hadn't launched anything yet, then what was up there? Skeptics say it was misunderstanding, sensationalism, or misreported tracking data. Believers say it was a leak, the kind that slips out before the story gets buried. And in the space between those two explanations, the legend grows. The name that sticks over time, the story pulls in more threads. Rumors of strange signals, claims of odd objects, whispers that something has been in orbit for a very long time, and then it gets a name: the Black Knight. A perfect name, really, because it sounds ancient, secret, and watchful. The kind of name you remember. And once you remember it, you start seeing it everywhere. 1998, Space Shuttle Endeavour. Mission STS-88. During this mission, photos capture a dark object floating above Earth. In the images, it looks metallic, jagged, almost constructed. And for a certain kind of mind, that's the moment the case feels closed. Not because it proves anything, but because it looks like what people have always imagined: a strange visitor, drifting silently, watching from above. NASA's position has been consistent. It's debris, most likely a thermal blanket lost during EVA. A lightweight material tumbling in sunlight can look solid and structured depending on angle, shadow, and exposure. But here's the thing about mysteries. A simple explanation doesn't always kill them. Sometimes it strengthens them. Because believers don't ask, what is the simplest answer? They ask, what if that's exactly what they want us to believe? The echoes that shouldn't exist. And now we reach the detail that conspiracy communities treat like a fingerprint. Long-delayed echoes. Ham radio operators reported a strange phenomenon. They would transmit a signal, and seconds later it would return. An echo with an unnatural delay. Not the normal bounce you'd expect from terrain or atmosphere. Something else. Something that made people wonder. Was the signal being reflected from far away? Or was it being received, held, and sent back? Scientists have proposed natural explanations: ionospheric oddities, unusual propagation, magnetospheric effects. But to believers, the phenomenon feels like a clue that something was out there, interacting. And once you connect mysterious echoes to mysterious object, the story becomes irresistible. The Watcher Theory. This is where the legend changes form. Not a crash, not an invasion. A watcher. Some point to a concept discussed in scientific literature and science fiction circles alike: a Bracewell probe, a hypothetical messenger probe that could park near a world and quietly observe, waiting for signs of intelligence. It's not an established fact. It's a thought experiment, a possibility, a what if. But conspiracy culture loves what if, because what if has no expiration date. So the theory becomes, what if an ancient probe arrived long ago? What if it's been here for thousands of years? What if it listens, monitors, nudges, or simply records? And the scariest version isn't the one where it attacks us. It's the one where it's been here the whole time, and we never noticed. Why people still believe. So why does this story survive? Because it has all the ingredients: a famous inventor hearing a strange signal, a pre-Sputnik headline that shouldn't exist, a set of photos that look like a dark craft in orbit, and radio echoes that feel like a reply. And when official explanations arrive, it's debris, it's a blanket, it's lighting, it's misunderstood. Some people don't feel reassured. They feel challenged. Because if the world is already full of secrets, then a mystery in orbit feels like the most believable secret of all. And the internet does what it always does. It turns questions into certainty. Someone posts coordinates. Someone claims a polar orbit. Someone says it's still active, still transmitting, still watching. No proof that holds up in a lab, but enough mystery to keep people looking up. The ending that hooks. So here's the question. If NASA is right, then the Black Knight is a misunderstanding. A moment in time when a drifting piece of insulation looked like a machine. But if the legend is right, then we're not alone in the sky above us. And Earth's oldest visitor has been here long before we learned to write history, silently circling. Unbothered by our wars, our borders, our noise, and maybe, just maybe, patient. It isn't hiding. Maybe it never had to. On this episode, that's the mystery.